Hey guys, it is Megan from Tower Talent. I have Jeremy Apodi from LA Talent here today. He's an amazing agent. He's been in the business for so many years now. He's had so many success stories under his belt, more importantly. So I wanted today to ask him a few questions about the business so we can get a little bit of insight on what's happening in LA. So first and foremost, Jeremy,
Yes.
Do you think that because of this new climate, that it's easier for people around the country to get involved because we're doing everything, all these auditions over the computer now?
Yes, definitely. If you would have told me a year ago that every commercial would be self-tapes and Zooms, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. I mean, back in the day, we couldn't really work with talent from out of town on commercials because it was so 24/7 fast-paced notice. That's, the most notice we'd get. Well, we'd get scheduled at 8 o'clock for that afternoon, and they were all in person, 100% in person. So it has opened it up a little bit where we've been able to work with talent from out of town. I did book, like right at the start of quarantine, I booked a girl and her dad in Texas, and they literally sent this was like at the heart of quarantine when no one was going outside, and they sent a whole film crew to her to shoot.
House, right?
Yeah, to her house and had her shoot it. And it was like, is this really happening? But it really kind of showed how things have changed a lot. And there is a lot more self-tapes, a lot more Zooms, and it has opened it up a little bit. We, on the commercial side, a lot of real families, real siblings, staying within your pod. So there has been a lot more where we've had to adapt, where we've had to change, and we've had to get more family photos up there, more brother and sister photos up there, just because the climate is so much more about real families and real siblings and real. That's the main thing. Yeah. Theatrically, same thing. Authentic, exactly. Theatrically, the same thing. I mean, it's 100% self-tapes. It's 100%, sending in video auditions. So, in that sense, yes, it has opened the playing field up to, making sure that you have a good setup, a good, self-tape at home location where, you really are going to have a good quality tape to send in, because that's really, so important now. That's a big factor now. So yes, to answer your question, we've definitely seen a big change in this time.
Wonderful. And do you still think that there is an advantage for people in the markets that I'm in, whether it's, the San Diego and the Long Island market? Is there still that advantage for these guys, even though we're doing Zooms from all over the country?
Absolutely. Obviously in San Diego, to be able to come up here to LA to shoot jobs, with certain restrictions and protocols now. I mean, SAG has it down with, the COVID protocols, and there are tricky spots where, you can't really fly in to do, say, a certain small, co-star or guest star, because they want a local hire, because you have to quarantine for a certain amount of days. So, the New York market, yeah, absolutely. That increases your likelihood to maybe book a local hire, co-star, guest star in New York. Same thing in San Diego with LA, where, it definitely gives you a little bit more of a chance, because they really are being a little bit more restrictive with the talent and the location that they're seeing.
Yeah. So it seems like more of the auditions are online. People are getting seen, and then still the bookings are happening with the local talent.
Yep.
Last question. Do you think that this is going to be the new norm? Do you think it's going to stay like this?
It's a good question. I definitely see it not going back to, I don't think it's ever going to go back to how exactly it was last time. I think that, I think especially on the commercial side, I think casting actors have seen that, hey, we can, do this over Zoom or over self-tapes. Now, it definitely, you don't get a true feel for a talent than in person. So I do think that as, the country opens back up, I think there will be a trend towards back to, certain in-person auditions, if it's obviously an important callback, or if it's something we already are seeing a little bit more in-person stuff. But I definitely think the Zoom self-tape way will definitely be here to stay, just because, it's something that I think, casting's starting to get used to how to proceed with that.
Yeah, I think it helps to just speed things up. You can just do that
Sure.
process from your home or, in a small place. And then
It's
the
more
big,
work for us because we're having to track down every tape and upload, and like it's definitely more follow through. Whereas it used to be, we send our talent on the audition and then good luck. Now it's, oh, we got to track down that tape. It's due at 2:00 and we have to upload it and we have to, label it correctly. So yeah.
yeah, it is. It's crazy. Well, thank you for your insight. Always a pleasure. And I'm looking forward to booking more jobs with you. So
Thank you.
thanks a lot, Jeremy.
Thank you, Megan. Thanks.